Well guys, we made it to video number 3. If anyone's even watching this stuff, you might notice that things are going a little bit better in the video. We're still really trying to figure out, music. Love to be able to add some fucking music. I don't know. I'm just not good with it still, but I'm figuring it out as I go. I'm trying to spend, a decent amount of time between, I have a job, but so I don't know how it was back in the day, but now with the new YouTube algorithms, what I've looked into, what I've seen, is that if you cuss and I don't know, probably drink and smoke, you're not gonna get up there quick with how YouTube won't place you as high on a recommended video search. So like, even if you're watching Greg A's stuff, my stuff's probably not gonna come up because just how YouTube is these days. And that would be great if I was doing this for like trying to get fucking rich or something and trying to get a bunch of views or be YouTube famous. That's fine. That's not gonna happen, and I don't really care about that. This whole channel, you're probably gonna see me smoke and drink Bud Light, and I'm gonna cuss because that's who we all are, and I'm not gonna change what I do normally because of YouTube. I'm just not. I'm never going to make a bunch of fucking money on this stuff anyway. I'm doing this because I like doing this, and it's a cool new thing to do. And that's about it. Secondly, if you guys have any suggestions or, feedback, give them to me. I'm not going to bitch and moan about good criticism because I know what these videos are, and they're not, they might not be great, but I'm working on them. I'm going to try to make them better. Maybe less rambling. That would maybe help. Other than that, I think that's about it. So there's a few things I want to talk about real quick about the interior, and then we'll get started here. Also, I apologize for the lighting. I got these lights on eBay or on Amazon, and they're really good, but they're almost too bright for my ceiling height. They just, I don't know, they whitewash everything. So I apologize for that. Before I start, I want to show you guys something and explain something. Hate it all you want. It's probably fucking stupid. I'm not really a fan of it, but it was a good idea at the time, I thought. But I want to talk to everyone. Another little disclaimer before we go into it. I want to show you guys this. Let me turn this around. So, when I did, you can't really see anything in here anyway. Okay, when I did gauges in here, not a huge fan of the pillar mount. I'm not drilling into my dash, I refuse to, and I didn't really know what to do. So until I did a new custom dash, which I will do eventually, man, I was just out here bored, and I thought, man, I could drill into the stock trans pan and mount it down here, and I was like, oh, that would be super cool. And it's not a great idea. Let's be honest. You can't really see the gauges when you're driving. It's just not really. Now I understand why gauges are usually mounted in front of you and not down there, because the first time I made a pass through my neighborhood and I hit 35 psi when I was going for 20. I had no idea. My neighbor told me about it, and it wasn't until I was like staring at the floor driving that I even knew what was going on. So that's bad practice. I thought it kind of looked cool at the time, but it's got to come out. So that'll be, probably now. So I'm going to rip out the carpet so that as soon as it warms up, which hopefully will be soon, I can get that carpet washed. Since that's pretty new carpet, it just needs to be cleaned a little bit. I'll do that, and I need to start pulling wires for my my door panels. While I'm doing this, I got to thinking, I feel like I need an intro, something like, hey, if you like flat bill hats and 500 horsepower VE pumps, this is your channel. You just don't realize how dirty carpet can get. In just a few years, really, it looks decent in the truck, but Man, this is fucking dirty. So, first chance I get, I'll be washing this thing out. Alright, I just took a little break. I had to go eat dinner. Is it illegal to, like, have a can of Bud Light on your YouTube? I guess that's just, like, free advertising. They're cool with that, right? Well, I don't know. Regardless, I'm going to drink a beer, smoke a mini cigar, a bitch cigar, and I'll work on this in here in just a second. So I just remembered when I did this, let's see. Well, this was when I did the body swap on this project, which was, 3 years ago now. When I did this, you know, everything lines up, but it can be a little different. The cabs on these are not all the same. The diesels and the let's see, the big automatic transmissions. Anyway, actually I think there's three, but there's two main differences in the transmission tunnel. And the little, what this was, the little light half-ton D100, this has a tiny little tunnel. It's just a little hump to it. Unlike the truck, the Cummins truck that I had, it had a bigger, much larger tunnel. So I had to cut out a bunch of stuff and, you know, change some things. But my four-wheel drive lever, when I cut it in to sit the cab on the frame, I just realized why I only have one of these rubber floor mats, and I used to have two. You can see here that I cut one up to waterproof, I guess. To waterproof the cab. It's not really waterproof. I just put it on there so that it would kind of slide with the lever and maybe keep some water out. Water's not an issue with this truck anymore because it barely gets out of the fucking garage. It doesn't even see the light of day hardly. So not a big issue anymore, but I'm going to keep it because I'd rather it be, you know, sealed up. If you guys are going to do the same thing like what I did, just the body swap, and, you know, if you don't cut a new tunnel and, you know, weld up your own, which this is, you know, the easier route really, you know, I would maybe suggest doing something a little bit better if you're going to drive it in the rain and stuff. Anyway, now you can see the extent of this peel and seal that I put on here. I think I talked about that earlier, but everything in here is like probably 3-4 layers deep of this stuff. I really wanted the you know, noise vibrations and everything to be cut down pretty good, and you know, I put in work on this thing. It took me quite a while to do as many layers as I did. Also, you can see the amount of extra wires that I had to just stick down, and for some reason I used, maybe I didn't have tape that day or something, but I guess I used extra peel and seal just to keep it all in place when I put the, you know, before I put the carpet over it. But I gotta mess with that. And then also I've got a mess of, you know, wires and stuff, you know, power wires that I need to probably clean up. And last but not least, the thing I've been working on the last 2 videos, my door panels. The last few days I've actually I had them pressed together. I had a bunch of weight on them to, you know, try to make sure that they all stayed where they needed to be. They actually came out pretty decent. I'm pretty happy with this. I had a few days off. I was gone on a, you know, in-law family vacation type of deal for, you know, a couple days. That's why I have this on my hand. I ended up cutting the shit out of my hand trying to get a wine bottle open without a corkscrew. Wouldn't advise that, but all is good. You know, no matter how many times I drill a hole in this truck, it never feels better. So I want to show you guys what I'm talking about, because maybe you don't have to make the same mistake. Down here, I started drilling holes. This center one, I think, is a factory hole, because it looks way better, and I think that was already there.
Most of you guys that actually had speakers in the doors will probably know that. This was my first attempt at getting through, and then this is my second. The problem with this is you can see it doesn't go very deep and it's hitting more metal. I'm guessing the other side of something in this panel. But on this one, if you go behind here, you can actually get it through there. So not a lot of you guys are going to have that issue, but that's me. Also, to get up here, let's see, right there, you can see that big grommet, I guess. We poked wires through there at first, but now that's going to be a bit of an issue. And I say that's going to be an issue because I need to get another hole in that, and I got to be careful to not get into the wire that I've already got in there. Therefore, I'm actually going to take the doors off of the truck. Most people are not going to have to do this. This isn't something that usually should be done, but with me running 4 strands of wire through the same spot, it's going to be a little tough. So I'm just going to take the doors off and make it easier on myself. It won't take that long. I've done it a few times, not a ton, but I've done it on this truck a few times. It shouldn't be a big deal. The only problem is I don't have a lot of help around here. I moved a couple of years ago and I never really got around to making any friends, which is probably the actual reason I do these videos, because I don't have a lot of other stuff going on. But you can see, hold on. You can see my makeshift ratchet strap job. I just got a little bit of pressure on that to give it a little bit of support. I'm going to take the door off and at least let it dangle there for just a second while I set it down. Actually have to take the door off. Yeah, I forgot how to do this, and I figured it out as I went, and I'm going to show you guys real quick. Let's see. This part, this pops out. Pretty easy. Peel up, get a little knife inside, peel it out. The inside here, this, don't even try. That's apparently that's not a thing. So, I just took my wire, put it through the hole, pushed enough up to where I could see it. You'll see it through there, pull it through, and I didn't have to take the door off because I can get in here to drill a little hole in there, which that's all jacked up now. But you can drill a hole through, so then, just poke it through there and run it through your door. No problem. It is Friday night. I've been to work. I got off a little early because I had a migraine from hell, and I got sick as shit there for a minute, but now I'm good. So it's like 9 o'clock, but I wanted to get this done tonight, so we're going to stick to the plan. I got the carpet right there. We're going to run down to the car wash, and I'm going to rinse this thing out, see what happens. Honestly, I don't know. I guess it'll all be fine, but it's the only way I really know how to wash this thing. she is. Looks quite a bit cleaner around the edge. Boy, it really shows up on camera, actually. You can't see it that much in regular. That's weird. You can see it's still a little bit dirty, but overall it's a lot cleaner than it was. You know, maybe I could have done better, spent a little bit more time, really shampooed it, but for what I wanted, this works. Alright, kind of hard to see, but you can see in there. I need to pull the slack out of those wires, but other than that, that's 4 strands of speaker wire, all in that loom or whatever, and I got it all in, so maybe tomorrow after work I'll be, you know, trying to get some door panels on and maybe getting these buttoned up. Alright, so that actually went pretty well. I wanted to finish up a few things tonight just to run that other side. I think this actually looks pretty good, and just for reference, we'll put that up there. I think that's going to be pretty sweet. I might have to paint some of this back here black so it doesn't show any of that silver liner. But other than that, we're just about ready to mount these up. Alright guys, I wanted to end this video with getting the door panels on, both of them with all the speakers in, but I ran into a little issue, so I'm gonna have to end this video a little bit early. I'll show you guys my last car that I had these tweeters in. There was kind of a clearance issue, so I had chopped the sides off of this thing to fit it down into the dash of my old car. I don't know if they dry rot a little bit or I just put too much pressure on one of these, but the basket actually broke. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, your tweeter just sits in that and it kind of sandwiches in so that you can mount these. So of course, snapped this one. So I'm going to have to find a new one, and until that gets here, I won't be able to at least mount one of the tweeters. Not a big deal, but that's all I can do for now. I'm going to wait until I can get that basket so I can put those in. My next, I think tomorrow I'll probably be working on the amp rack and stuff like that. So we'll be getting carpet back in this thing soon, get her back together. So until then, if you guys would like and subscribe, trying to push these videos out maybe once a week. So we're getting there. See ya.